Hey guys, welcome to my channel Miss Recap. Today I'm going to explain an action-adventure movie called Uncharted. The movie begins with Nate awakening in the middle of the sky with his legs stuck in cargo. He tries to get up and enter in a plane. Suddenly a guy starts shooting at him. He goes under the cargo and manages to get close to him. While he keeps fighting with him and he manages to throw him, but when he reaches on top and tries to enter in a plane, he gets hit from a falling car and he also falls. And just as he is falling, he gets a flashback of his brother Sam grabbing his hand and pulling him when they are looking for the first map of the whole world to find the lost gold of Ferdinand Magellan. While trying to steal the map, they got caught by the police, but Sam ran away, leaving behind his necklace. As a memory tells Nate that he is always with him and one day he will come back for him. We then see Nate all grown up in New York working as a bartender. He meets with a girl and makes a drink for her. While lighting her cigarette, Nate snatches her bracelet, which Victor sees, and he offers a job to Nate, but Nate denies and tells him to leave. After Victor leaves, Nate put a hand in his pocket for a bracelet, only to find Victor's card in it. So Nate decides to meet him. When he reached his place, Nate is surprised to see the same map which him and Sam were trying to steal. He asks about the bracelet and Victor gives it to him. After this, Nate asks about the authenticity of the map, to which Victor replies that it is in fact authentic. Victor explains that the house of Moncada financed the voyage to find the gold worth $5 billion in today's value. And he is a friend of Sam, but Sam disappeared 2 years ago when they were looking for gold. And if they find this gold, chances are they will also find his brother. But Nate doesn't want to go looking for gold, so he refuses. When he reaches home, he thinks about it and decides to go find this gold. And his brother Victor and Nate decide to rob La Cruz de la Hermandad, which is a cross, and it can unlock a chamber where gold is hidden. Nate tells Victor that he knows that there are 2 crosses, one for the captain and one for the crew. And Victor tells him that he already has the captain's cross and now they only need this other cross. So they start making plans to rob the cross. Victor tells him to cut the power during the auction. That will trigger the main alarm and he will rob the cross. The day of an auction comes and they see Santiago Moncada with his friend Joe Braddock, who also came looking for this artifact. The auction begins and Nate is trying to cut the power, but it's taking him so long. To give him some time, Victor enters in bidding Santiago and Victor starts bidding against each other. On the other side, security catches up Nate. He tries to run away from them and causes a distraction. Meanwhile, Victor gets the cross and leaves Nate also get out from there. And together they head towards Barcelona where they meet with Chloe. And she has the other cross. They all decide to work together to find the goal. Then we see Santiago telling his father not to give away all of their fortune. To which his father replies that he has already made up his mind and he won't change his decision. And Santiago orders Joe to kill his father. Nate, Chloe, and Victor enters in a church named Santa Maria del Pi and started looking for signs. Victor finds a mark on the ground which leads them to a room where Nate finds 2 keyholes. Nate and Chloe insert their crosses and rotate clockwise, to which some arrows come out almost killing Victor, but he survives. Then they decide to rotate anti-clockwise. This time they find stairs which leads to a tunnel, but the book which Victor has tells about heaven and hell. This means now they have to split up. Nate connects himself with Victor's GPS so they all can track each other. Then Nate and Chloe goes down through stairs and Victor goes outside. Joe is also there looking for them. She sent her men after Nate and Chloe and start following Victor inside the tunnel. Nate and Chloe finds a locked door and Nate kicks it to open it. Following the way, they see some lights and they come to know that there is an underground bar. Once outside the bar, they see a word infernum, meaning hell in Latin written, and they encounter Joe's men. So they try to make a distraction by lighting a fire, but Joe's men attack Nate. While Chloe finds the symbol of an eye, she inserts her cross in it, which opens a secret passage and they jump in it. Once inside, they start looking for a way out and they find another hole, which can also be opened from the cross. Chloe inserts her cross to open it, but water starts to fill in. They realize in order to open this door, both the crosses should be placed, one from the below and one from the above. And on the other side, Victor starts looking for a hole to insert his cross. But Joe points a gun at him and demands for the cross, and they start fighting. Meanwhile, Nate and Chloe starts drowning. After resolving his issue with Joe, Victor finally inserts the cross in a hole, which opens a hatch and Nate comes out, but he didn't find Chloe. He goes back to see her. She is unconscious and drowning, so you hold her and bring her on top. Chloe thanks Nate for saving her life and they continue to move forward. Later, they find a door with a hole, so they try to insert the cross, but it doesn't fit. Victor can look them through an opening, but can't get inside to join them. Chloe tells him to find if they are missing something, and Victor sees the symbol of a ladder, and he is sure that the only way to open the door is by putting two crosses together, even though he doesn't trust Chloe and Nate. But there is no other option, so he throws his cross to them. Nate put two crosses together which form the exact symbol which Victor saw on top and is able to open the door. Inside they see four giant urns. Nate lifts Chloe to see what's inside and she discovers that these urns have salt stored in them. Suddenly all the urns broke and there are salt everywhere. In the salt, Nate finds a map which shows the location of the gold, but Chloe points a gun at him and asks to give her the map, telling him that Victor can't be trusted, and tells Nate to ask Victor what he did with his brother. Distracted by this, Chloe knocks him out and now she has both the crosses and the map. Later, when Nate becomes conscious, he asks Victor about his brother Sam. Here, Victor explains what really happened to Sam. He tells Nate that they went to the captain's tomb to find the journal, but Joe and her men opened fire and Sam got shot, and he had no choice but to leave Sam there and get out. Hearing all this, Nate becomes angry and tries to leave, but Victor tells him that Sam believed that there is a final piece which can lead to the treasure, and he thought that maybe Sam said or sent something to him. Nate calls Victor greedy and selfish and leaves. Then we see Joe telling Santiago that the gold was never beneath the city, but she believes that Chloe has a clue about this gold and her men are looking for her. But Chloe herself arrives there to meet Santiago, and here he comes to know that Chloe is also working for him. Nate is preparing to leave and he gets a look of the postcards which Sam had sent to him. Victor comes there and tells Nate that Chloe took the map and both the crosses to Santiago, and she was the one giving all our info to him. Victor tells Nate that Joe was the one who shot Sam and he is letting her win. Nate tells Victor that he will finish what his brother has started and then they will go their separate ways. We then see Santiago together with Joe and Chloe as heading towards Kiamba, Philippines, looking for the pod in Cala de Oro. Later in plane, Joe double crosses Santiago and cuts his throat. Seeing this, Chloe runs from there. Joe with her men start looking for Chloe and taking advantage of this situation. Nate and Victor steals the map and Victor starts looking for parachutes to get off this plane, but Nate wants to confront Joe. Victor tells Nate that this is not the place to pick a fight, but Nate gets in front of Joe and asks her about killing his brother. Victor opens his parachute and jumps from a plane. Meanwhile, Joe starts shooting at Nate and he releases all the cargo. His leg gets stuck in one of the cargo's belts and he goes outside with it. On the other side, inside the plane, Joe's men have found Chloe and they are about to shoot her, but she snatches a gun and starts shooting at them. Now she is out of bullets and has nowhere to run, so she gets in a car and decides to jump out of a plane. This is the exact scene which we saw in the beginning, and Chloe is inside the car which had hit Nate together. They are falling and are without a parachute. They manage to grab a cargo and open its parachute. Then we see them getting on the shore. In the room, Nate starts looking the postcard sent by Sam and he discovers a hidden message in one of the postcards which helped him finding the exact location of the goal. He writes down the coordinates in sleep. Later, Chloe sees the coordinates and leaves, but these coordinates are wrong. Nate has intentionally sent Chloe in the wrong direction. We then see Joe has landed in Kiamba and heading towards Cala de Oro, but she spotted Nate and starts following him. Nate enters in a cave and jumps in the water. He has discovered the lost ships of Magellan and enters in one of the ships. Victor was already there waiting for him. He reached there by tracking Nate's cell phone. Remember, Nate himself put the tracker in Vector's cell phone. So Vector took advantage of this and kept an eye on Nate. They start looking all the gold on the ship. Following Nate, Jo arrives there, seeing her arriving Nate, and Vector hide in the ship. Jo orders her men to kill Nate, and Victor on sight her men in the ship and starts searching for them, but they didn't find them. Jo's men tell her that they must have filled their pockets and left Jo airlifts both the ships without realizing that Nate and Victor is still inside. In one of the ships, once airborne, Nate and Victor come out and start fighting with Jo's men. They manage to throw everyone, and then Victor starts to climb. He enters in the cockpit and is able to hijack the helicopter, which is lifting their ship, and try to get away from Jo. She sees Victor is stealing her ship and she starts following them. During their chase, both the ships almost collide with one another, but Victor saves from the collision. Nate finds a cannonball and gunpowder and he shoots this old cannonball at Jo's helicopter, which results in the destruction of both the ship and a helicopter. But Jo jumps from her ship right before its destruction and lands on Nate's ship. She drops the anchor of the ship, making sure no one leaves on the other side. Victor's bag, which is full of gold, falls from the helicopter and is stuck on its wheel. Jo starts chasing Nate to kill him. Victor manages to get his bag but sees that Jo is about to kill Nate, and he throws the bag on Jo, making her fall. Because of the anchor, helicopter's cable broke and the ship falls on the top of Jo. Nate jumps towards Victor and he grabs his hand, pulling him inside. They see the ship sinking beneath them. Once inside the cockpit, Nate tells Victor that he manages to grab some gold in his pockets and shows it to him in the end. At least they have some gold of the lost ships of Magellan. We then see Sam is writing to Nate, telling him to watch his bag. This means that Sam is alive and the movie ends here. Thanks for watching. If you like it, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel.